He's going to be talking to us about how the Chiefs fans really did about the Matt Castle injury, having him knocked out, and then the cheers at Arrowhead Stadium, possibly for Brady Quinn, the backup. Hopefully that wasn't the case because that's kind of disrespect right there. Um, to the organization right there. And Matt Castle uh, should be really upset that his fans have no appreciation for him. And right now, I'm going to be calling Nick Rice, so I'm going to take you through some more scores. The Giants at MetLife, the New York Giants at MetLife Stadium beat the Browns 41 to 27. The Browns no wins this season. They're a 0-5 record, and the Giants really broke out in the second inning, in which they scored 20 points and lead the way with Eli Manning passing for 3 touchdowns and Ahmad Bradshaw going for 200 rushing yards. And here on the phone with me is the NFL. My bad. So I had the NFL analyst on the phone, Nick Rice, and I just lost him. So quickly, hopefully, I'm just gonna get him quickly, and then Falcons and Redskins, a 24 to 17 victory. I'll be talking to you guys about what happened in the nation's capital with RG3 getting knocked out and what Nick Trice has in mind on that game. And Nick, are you here with me?
Yeah, I'm here now. Thanks for the call.
All right, thanks Nick for being on the show.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to another one. And obviously, it was a big week 5, a lot of surprises, and a little bummed that my Chargers weren't able to pull it out, but certainly it should be interesting coming down.
All right, Nick. So the first question I got, it'll be going to the. Let's go with the Kansas City game. I was just talking about the score and talking about what the Chiefs fans did. Matt Castle in the play in their loss against the Ravens get suffers a concussion, and the offensive lineman Eric Winston, he really really just goes off to the media about what the Chiefs fans did. How did you react to what the Chiefs fans did in cheering when Matt Castle left off the field with a concussion?
Um, I, it's just one of those things over in Kansas City for like a number of years that just the gist around that city is really not that good right now because honestly for years Chiefs fans have been frustrated they haven't won a Super Bowl in like 40, 45 years. For the Kansas City Chiefs, that looks just like a sign of frustration for this ball club over the years. It's been tough watching the Chiefs lose time and time again. In fact, they haven't gone to the playoffs in over 10. Obviously, very frustrating, and we see it coming out every Sunday. And right now for the Chiefs, another disappointing year seems to be on tap for them as only 1-4, and their one win, they have not won or been leading yet in regulation all year long. Certainly the Chiefs need to address their lack of talent in the offseason.
This is one of many things that Eric Winston said. The offensive tackle said, "We are not gladiators, and this is not the Roman Coliseum. This is a game. This is a game that's going to cost us a lot down the road. That's okay. We picked it. We deserve it. I don't want your pity, but we've got a lot of problems as a society if people think that's okay." So obviously, he's saying that this is like a animalistic society. It's just we want to see violence happen. We want to see people get knocked out, and that's I don't think that's right in all sports, not just the NFL. I think the NFL has the biggest problem with it, especially with big hits like what happened to Matt Castle. And well, I'm going to be talking right now with RG3. He's feeling good, but obviously he was taken out of the game of yesterday's game against the Falcons, suffering a concussion. Um, Nick, do you have any concern for RG3 for next week's game against the Vikings?
Well, certainly RG3 is one of those rookies that you have a lot of talent, but certainly this year he has put it on occasion to the gridiron. And right now for RG3, after an inconsistent 2-3 campaign for Washington right now, the key is to have as healthy of a quarterback as possible because RG RG3 is your future, no matter which other way you want to look at it. The Redskins right now, they're looking to rebuild right now because the Redskins have been bad for quite a while. So put RG3 in the best situation you can by letting him sit a week, and that probably won't sit with the quarterback very well. But right now, they also have a capable backup now. The Redskins certainly have quarterback issues, even with RG3 this year. But the key is I want a healthy RG3 from a Washington fan. And right now, for the Redskins, all they need is a defense. Once they have a defense, they're good to go because their offense is towards the upper of the league. They just need a defense that can contend with any ball club. So for right now, I feel the Redskins, they have a challenge on their hands, but I feel like Robert Griffin should sit out because nothing is worse than putting a guy with a concussion in the game and having him suffer more time and perhaps have a season-ending injury. Certainly not worth the risk.
And the backups for the Washington Redskins at the quarterback spot is at Kirk Cousins and at Rex Grossman. In that situation, who do you pick if RG3 is not able to play on Sunday?
I would pick the guy that's been there and done that. He went to a Super Bowl with the Chicago Bears. Rex Grossman is the guy I would plug into the lineup for Week 6. And he's a guy that knows the offense. Obviously, the Redskins will have to have a more moderated offense. Shanahan will have to create more running plays, and they'll also have to obviously not use quarterback scrambles or anything that Robert Griffin would use. But right now for the Redskins, I say go with the guy that's been there, done that. Kirk Cousins, a very young guy, perhaps someone who can later on start in the National Football League. But go with Rex Grossman for right now.
And let's go to our last topic. I know you're short on time. Let's go with the Indianapolis Colts and getting a big win at home for their head coach of Chuck Pagano, who was diagnosed with leukemia. He was in the hospital across the street from the stadium, and he was hand delivered by the team the game ball. Nick, what do you think about that? That's just plain out just the Colts. And plus, the Packers players were wearing Chuck Strong T-shirts. Um, how much respect does Chuck Pagano have to the National Football League?
Chuck Pagano has a lot of respect in that Colts organization and seemingly around the National Football League. Chuck Pagano also, when he was diagnosed with leukemia, they reportedly the Colts left his front office lights on. They left it on, doors open, waiting for him and his return. We don't know how soon he'll come back from the surgery for leukemia. Perhaps 4 to 6 weeks was reportedly the length of time, but Chuck Pagano, he's a big impact for that Colts team. And you saw in that game against Green Bay, down 21-3 early, Andrew Luck in the offense and seemingly the whole football team rallied together. The Packers are a good team partner. They haven't won in the fashion that they were used to seeing the Packers, but they're a good team. And for the Colts, especially at home, to rally around, and Chuck Pagano certainly has instilled discipline in the Colts, and it showed. It showed Steven on Sunday. And Chuck Pagano, I mean, I wish the best, but right now with the interim coach, I don't know if the Colts will be the same. Perhaps even after 1 week, a big win. Right now, Chuck Pagano has made such a strong impact, and you saw the team rallying around Pagano. Just absolutely, you can't be any more happy for the Colts organization, and obviously hoping the best for the Colts head coach.
And sorry about that, but what he said to his team before the game, he sent them a text message saying, "quote Focus on being 500 by 4:30 on Sunday, nothing else. That has to be our mindset. 60 minutes, all you got, one play at a time, win." So he's pretty much short and sweet about that. And let's just go with one more topic before you have to go. How do you think on Drew Brees breaking the NFL record, passing Johnny Unitas for most consecutive games with a passing touchdown?
Drew Brees he's one of those guys. He was faced with a lot of controversy and a lot of adversity right off the bat. You know, struggling to be on the San Diego squad. He was cut. Only two teams wanted him, and he certainly has delivered for New Orleans. And you can't be more happy for Drew Brees. Now, of course, the bounty scandal's been looping around New Orleans for the past few months, but right now the Saints have a guy that they can win another Super Bowl now with, and Drew Brees. Obviously, one of the most disciplined and well-rounded guys, and you could not be more happy for a guy who off the field has such an impact on society. Now, Drew Brees, I've never, I mean, of course, very few get to meet him, but from reading about him and from also, you know, watching him play, just one of the most classiest guys around. I mean, if anyone in the National Football League could get that kind of award, happy to see Drew Brees do it, and he's really made this offense way better than it is. Now, the Saints don't have an elite receiver. They perhaps have one in Jimmy Graham at tight end, but the Saints are not an offense without Drew Brees that I feel they're probably the 2010 lamer version of the New England Patriots, where if you don't have Brees, you're not as good, nowhere near as good as you seem to be. Drew Brees certainly picks up the offense, and obviously very happy to see him on prime time pick up a win, despite against the Chargers, pick up their first win, and Drew Brees getting his record.
Yeah, it's a lot of great stuff, especially against his former team, and he has shoulder surgery. It was concern for him because he had a interview with Bob Costas. He was saying that he was worried that no team is going to pick up a 6 foot quarterback who has a surgically repaired shoulder, throwing shoulder. So that was the concern he was having going into free agency. But Sean Payton believed in him, and getting the first win of the season for the Saints on prime time, and just another guy to put into the wide receivers case. You're saying Jimmy Grant, also Marquise Colston, really having a great game, catching the 3 touchdowns that Drew Brees passed in today's and yesterday's game. So I think that he's starting to get a lot better as the season progresses. He did not have a great start to the season when New Orleans took on Washington, but he's getting better ever since that bad performance against RG3's Skins. And quickly, one last question: Texans and Jets tonight. Who do you got?
Right now, the most talented team, I believe, and obviously a juggernaut over there in the AFC, the Houston Texans. I see. If the Jets make it close, round of applause to Rex Ryan, because after being blown out against the Niners, I don't see the Jets being anywhere close to being in contention in this game. Despite being at home, it should be a root for Mark Sanchez benching after this Week 5 game I see on Monday night, and just want to have an ending statement right here, because certainly not many people, let alone football players, come back from the kind of shoulder surgery that Drew Brees had. But me and Phil Nunziata will be co-hosting an NFL Goal Line, another hour-long episode tonight at 7 on Spreaker.com, and we'll go more in depth on everything NFL. And Steven, thanks for having me on, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Nick, for being on the show, and good luck with your show tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steven.
All right, guys, that was Nick Rice of the NFL Goal Line with Nick and Phil. Tune into that show at 7 Pacific Time, 10 Eastern. So it's a pretty good time to listen to a great show on everything NFL. They'll talk to you guys about what happened this week, like I'm kind of doing, but they're going with more of the details and more analysis part of the NFL, not like what I'm doing really. But I got a question from Corey Huggenberg. Are there any baseball games tonight? Yes, there are. There are 2 today. There's one currently right now, if you want. On TBS is the Nationals and the Cardinals right now, and the score is now 4-1. Like I told you guys, it was 1-0. But when I was talking to Nick, the Cardinals made a big comeback in the bottom of the second, scoring 4 in the bottom of the second, and now up 4-1. So Corey, if you want to tune to that game right now, it is on right now. And then later tonight, it'll be the Yankees and the Orioles at Camden Yards, Game 2 of that series. And you know, hopefully, and Corey's going for a go Reds, and it's kind of true. Reds heading into Great American Ballpark with a 2-0 lead in the one of the NLDS series. Uh, Game 3 will be played tomorrow night. Um,